Welcome to the Husker Army Podcast with your host, Husker fanatic Ryan Knutson, former Husker wide receiver Kenny Cheatham, and Husker recruiting guru Matt Sass.
What's going on, everybody? Fall in, at attention. You're locked into another episode of the Husker Army Podcast, brought to you by the Husker Army fan page on Facebook. Check them out. I'm one of your hosts, Brian Knutson. With me, as always, our other host, Mr. Kenny Cheatham, former Husker wide receiver. How you doing today, Kenny?
I'm all right, brother. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm good. Look what we're going to talk about again. 2 games, 2 weeks in a row. Another W. We go into Piscataway, take away a W, 14-13. Wasn't pretty by any means. But look, I know Bernard Thomas will disagree with me here, but for me, a win's a win. I'm going to take it how we can get it right now. So right now, I mean, we're tied with as many wins as we had all last season already. Not to mention, we were, 1-3, and we're now 3-3.
It's amazing, right?
Big Mick energy, you think?
3-3.
Unreal.
Same amount of wins as last year.
Already. Yeah, we didn't even have 3 wins by this time last year, I don't believe. Okay, wow. Like I said, not pretty on offense. The Big Ten West is now wide open. We I believe, from everything I keep seeing on Twitter, hell has frozen over, folks. We're sitting atop the West Division right now.
That's crazy.
Mean, the West Division is for all intents and purposes, as I saw on Twitter today, it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and just think if we had beat Northwestern like we should have, taken care of business in that game, we'd be clear-cut number 1 in the West. So
unbelievable.
Something, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy to think about that they put the stat up during the game that the last 1-score game that we won was against Rutgers in 2020. I mean, come on. It's been almost 2 years since we won a 1-score game. Now we're getting over that hump.
Yeah, seems like Rutgers is the antidote when we're sick and have something going on. We appreciate you. Thank you. It wasn't easy, but thank you.
Was not easy. It was not easy at all. I mean, that whole first half, it was sluggish. I mean, they're up 13-0 at halftime. Defense is doing what they can do. I mean, to hold them to 13 points, penalties piled up. And look, here's an amazing stat. 4 offensive pass interference calls in this game. You're lucky if you ever see 1 a weekend.
Right. Yeah, one is generally abnormal, but to see 4, and you had a couple possibles, some questionable ones, but it was still, I was like, wow, that's like 4. I think Rutgers had 3, and we had the 1, possibly. Am I correct? Or something like that?
I think it might have been 2 and 2.
2, something like that. But
yeah,
it was something to see.
And looking at the ones on Rutgers, yeah, I kind of agree with you there, though there was one definitely was not offensive pass interference.
Right.
So, I mean, seeing something like that, it's like everybody complains about the Big Ten referees. And, we see the same clowns week in, week out. For every Big Ten game you watch, you're seeing those referees. And it's not just on us anymore, everybody. It's happening to everybody around the league. Maybe with Frost gone, maybe Kevin Warren's going to take it easy on us now.
I mean, honestly, I see people tweeting about it. I see the comments people say and all of that. I really honestly haven't paid the Big Ten refs any attention as far as that and what people say they're treating us unfair and bad calls against Nebraska. We have to get this. Now, I have seen games where they were lopsided in the calls, but was it us playing poorly? I mean, that's just my take, because I look at it from this aspect, and this is just being honest. I heard a lot of people crying about the Big Eight before we left, about the referees the last 2 years because we were leaving. So we still crying about referees, what, almost 12 years later or something like that? So, I mean, play better, and you won't have to worry about the referees. How about that?
Yeah,
Problem solution.
exactly. Pretty clean cut in my eyes there.
Yeah.
Look, you ask me, everybody complains about referees in any level of the game, in any game, period. It could be basketball, it could be hockey, it could be soccer. It doesn't matter. Everybody complains about the officiating
Mm-hmm.
in every game on every level. Now, look, you ask me, let's take the referees out of the game. Let's just turn it loose. All right, gladiator style. Let's just go out there, no weapons, nothing like that. No, but let's just go at it.
Do we have enough pit bulls in the kennel to let loose, or
I have no idea.
do we have a bunch of chihuahuas on the team? I mean, let's keep it G real. I
It's
mean,
a hell of a way to find out.
Hey, I don't know if we have enough pit bulls on there, but we got a lot of chihuahuas who bark loud. Yeah, so yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Look, offense finally turned it on in the second half, come out in the third quarter. There it is, what we see, 9 times out of 10, first drive of the half, they take it down the field and score 7-13. Then they take a little bit more time off and wait until the fourth quarter to decide for Thompson to hit Palmer on a beautiful pass, by the way. Dropped it in the bucket with about maybe a foot to spare in the back of that end zone. And we go up 14-13. Defense does their job. We'll get into the aspect of the defense here in a moment. But offense, 304 total yards on the night. Thompson was 24-36 for 232, 2 touchdowns and 2 INTs. Now, you were talking last week, that wasn't the best game you saw out of Thompson, but it was enough to get it done. This week, even the stats are a little bit worse, but he still had enough to get it done.
Yeah, I think he forced some throws. That was obvious. The one to Palmer, I think there was 3 people on him. The first interception and then the other interception where it kind of was just up in the air and they got it. There were some that were forced that shouldn't have been forced. There were times I thought he could have went to the other read, but no one's perfect. Offensively, we had some runs, but not as many as we did against the last game against Indiana. Even though it was still kind of, Grant had a couple big runs. Wouldn't say big, but timely runs.
Yes.
First down runs, something in 3, and he got 5, 6 yards, 8 yards.
Yes.
That helped a lot. So, I just want to I would like to personally see the line do what they did with Georgia Southern. And when they were making holes and things like that to get it going, get back to playing like that, even though we lost that game. So, we can get that running game going. Right now they're getting some yards and then maybe an 8 or 9 yard run. Let's get some more big runs and open the holes up so we can get them down the field, which will even open up the passing game more. So that's what I would like to see.
Yeah, it was definitely tough sledding on the ground for everybody in Piscataway there. Grant was 19 carries for 47 yards, and Jacques Yant was 4 carries for 22 yards. I mean, that was the bulk of our carries. And as you can see, 47 yards, 22 yards doesn't jump out on you on a stat sheet. But like you said, Kenny, they were timely runs. They were ones that were pounding away at that defense. It made them respect the run enough with the guys we had in there in order to allow receivers to get open on certain passing downs. So, like you said, yeah, it was by far tough sledding on the ground for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Both teams. So it wasn't just one side. It wasn't like they were tearing us up running the ball either. So it was rough for both teams, but we need to start getting a little bit more holes so we can make that ground game more effective. It's just my opinion. So,
Receiving, I mean, what can you say? Palmer, Washington, Vokalek, even Grant, all combined for 20 catches for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, of course, Palmer shining bright, 4 catches, 64 yards, 1 touchdown, and he was silent for most of the night. But when you come alive in that second half, that's not bad stats right there.
Mm-hmm. Timely catches.
Very timely.
Timely catch. Is it that what we said about what game was that?
Was it Indiana as well?
Indiana, yeah. Timely catches. The timely catch made a difference. And that touchdown was the difference in the game. A lot of people got the ball, which is what I talked about last week. I wanted to see him spread it out more because more people are going to focus on Palmer, number 3. You know, I call it by their numbers, I'll say their names. And I said I wanted to see number 7 get the ball more.
Washington, yeah.
Which he did.
He did look a little off, though. There was a few drops he had that were right there.
Yeah, he had had a couple. The one where he thought he hadn't hit the ground, and another 1 or 2. Would like to see Brown get the ball a little bit more, which opens the field. Which opens the field for the tight ends. I know Manning he got hurt. He didn't get the catch. I'm not sure what happened to him. Looked like an ankle, or hope it's not an Achilles injury or something like that. He was limping a little bit. Maybe it was an ankle, broke his ankle. But spreading it around will help the entire offense. As if I'm a defense coordinator, I know you're going to try to get the ball to Trey Palmer, number 3. Coach Joseph makes that obvious. Oh, we got to get him the ball. Yeah, everybody's knowing that. So get the ball to the other guy, spread it around, which makes him open. And you can have a lot more bigger plays. So.
Yeah, like you said, Vokalek looked good. He did end up coming back in after he did kind of tweak his ankle a little bit. So he was back in. He had 6 catches for 46 yards and the beautiful touchdown route.
Wide open.
Beautiful play fake and beautiful touch by Thompson. I mean, when I say beautiful, he had no room to spare over that defender and just popped it over him like he wasn't there. It was a beautiful thing. And Washington, like you said, he did look good. There were some drops he had. The one that got reviewed, honestly, in my opinion, I don't see where they saw sufficient evidence.
It was on the fence. Yeah, it was close. It was on the fence.
Yeah, when he's rolling over, I couldn't see the ball.
Right.
At least not enough to say that it moved.
To overturn it, right.
So Washington still ended up with a decent night. 4 catches, 53 yards. This is the one that jumps out at me, though. Anthony Grant, 6 catches for 34 yards. Now, that may not jump out on any stat sheet whatsoever. But the way Thompson was using Grant for his check down was a thing of beauty. A couple times he didn't even look. He just knew where he was, knew he was in trouble, and popped it out to him. And each time, Grant made it count. That is huge to me.
What did he average? About 7, 8 yards a catch?
Yeah. I mean, 6 catches, 34 yards at least. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the one long one. Everyone saw that. Poor fella.
Dude, that poor kid was out before he hit the ground. His body stiffened up before he hit the ground.
Yeah, he went over there half stepping. And as we say, got caught slipping, and he paid the price for it. So
Anthony's a bad man.
You hit him, yeah. Deliver the punishment. You can deliver punishment as an offensive player too now. Don't get it twisted. And that's exactly what he did. And good buddy learned his lesson. He knows the next time he chases someone over to the sideline, you better lay that wood to him.
If you go back and look at that too, that defender is probably half the size of Grant.
Yeah, I just watched it. Watched the first half. Literally just watched the first half. That was on when I was at work still. So it started 4 Arizona time, so I was still at work. I don't shut down my building until 4:30, and then doing my paperwork. I didn't get out of there until about 5:30. So, I caught maybe the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game, then an hour drive home. So,
man,
I just watched it this morning.
Oh, there you go. At least it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah, everything. Like literally, 10 minutes before we got on. I finished it.
Penalty-wise, I believe both teams had 9 penalties. I didn't write it down. I think we had 9 for 67 or something like that, and they had 9 for like 97.
We had a lot of false starts.
Yes,
What's that all about?
it was one of these sloppy, not quite as sloppy as Illinois and Iowa, but sloppy nonetheless. And being the only one of the 2 games on that Friday night,
Yeah.
it was on display for everyone to see. But as we said, the ultimate result, it's a W. I
Right.
mean, that's 3-3 now, and atop the West Division. What the hell? I mean, I think it's like a 5 or 6-way tie probably for the top of the West, but I mean, those teams we still all have to play except Northwestern. So
Amazing. It's amazing. I mean, you can't do anything but laugh about it, man. It's like,
yeah.
how?
I mean, look, after the first game of the season, we all thought it was over. Yeah, that's it. You know, everything was tanking. Then they come and beat North Dakota. All right, yeah, well, that wasn't pretty either. And we go and lose to Georgia Southern at home. And we get blown out by Oklahoma. Frost is fired. Shenander's fired. All of this shakeup, all of this turmoil, and yet in the midst of all of this, somehow these young men and this coaching staff have managed to bust out 2 wins out of 3 games. They're not pretty, but they're wins.
Yeah.
They're in the column.
They might not be pretty the rest of the season. They
No.
might have to grind it out like that. But in the process of them grinding it out like that, they're also learning how to win those games they couldn't win previously when they were close. Now that sphincter muscle isn't getting as tight as it used to when it was a close game. And are we gonna win? Could we win? Now they're, playing a little bit looser. Not that part of them. They're playing a little looser at that part of the game, believing that they could possibly win. So
yeah,
confidence is everything. Confidence and belief is everything. Once the kids, or even it's all levels. I mean, it's not just college kids, it's NFL grown men, it's players. Once a team gets that confidence and believe they can win, then they can really do some damage to the teams they're playing and get those wins that, they once didn't think they could do it. And I use an example. I was telling someone, talking about sports the other day, when I really recognized it was St. Louis Rams, when the year they won the Super Bowl. Before that, they were the Rams. They were the Rams. And then they got that confidence, and they won the Super Bowl. That from that year, and the confidence in that building and the expectations of everyone coming to that team was to win. And they had a good run of years where the Rams were a problem.
Yeah.
For everyone in the NFL, but it was that confidence.
Kurt
You know what I mean? It was
Marshall Falk, Isaac
and then everyone else coming in. But you know what I mean? This is the culture. So
yeah,
if we can get the culture turned around and believing that they can win and win those close games and expect to win and I hope to win when they go into a game, it can be a big difference.
Yeah, it feels to me like they finally got a taste of that. And like you said, confidence is everything. 2 teams for me that's case in point of that this season already, TCU and Kansas. I mean, seriously, they both battled it out just this Saturday, and TCU took it 38-31. Some questionable calls in there against Kansas, but, it is what it is. Look, this is not something we'd say about these 2 teams even just a year ago.
Right.
What they're doing right now is ridiculous. And Kansas, I think, had a sellout. I can't remember. It might have been 2007, 2009, the last time they sold out a game for football.
Wow.
They didn't have us involved with our fans.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
that's crazy.
Unbelievable. All right, defensive side of the ball. Look, we got to talk about them. That's why I wore this today. I think it was deserving. I'm not saying give them back their black shirts just yet, but it was impressive. As I said, only allowing 13 points in the first half, and then for the second straight game in a row, a second half shutout.
Mhm.
That gave us the 14-13 win, only giving up 348 yards. That's not bad. 232 in the air and 72 on the ground.
Ugh.
What we need him to do.
Yeah, it is. Reduce it a little bit more.
Where was this at the
Hopefully
beginning of the
compress.
year?
Yeah, but it's gradually going down. So
Yes.
I will say that. Watching the game and seeing that we did, or they did, shall I say, gave up a couple of deep balls.
Yeah.
It's going
Right
to
off the
happen.
bat.
Yeah, I know they were picking on the
They
freshman.
picked on Hartzog a lot.
Yeah, they picked on him a lot. It's a couple deep balls, but then the Rutgers players made some good catches on some of them.
Very good.
Those passes. So,
Not to mention dropped on a dime too by the quarterback. They really were.
It's football, man. You can't have a perfect game. It's all about minimal mistakes. So Vedro was looking good,
Yeah.
and then they pulled him because he was banged up, but he was a problem when he was in there.
And see, I was afraid of that too because look,
No, it was a
I
problem.
watched him when he was here. He knows what he's doing back there, and
Yeah,
he's
no, it was a
dangerous
problem.
on his legs.
Yeah, Noah was a problem, and then they pulled him. He put the other guy in. I think the other young fella threw 3 picks.
Yep. I had to look at the stat real quick, but yes,
Yeah,
you are
so
correct. And
I'm.
the gentleman responsible for those would be Farmer, Hartzog, and Moore.
Mhm,
Beautiful.
mhm,
Not to
mhm.
mention, I put a tweet out there earlier this week. It might have been Wednesday or
Whew.
Thursday. I asked everybody, do you think it's possible for Garrett Nelson and O'Shawn Mathis to each have a sack in this game? Sure as hell they did. Nelson had one, Mathis had one, and Feast, however you say it. They all three had one. Reimer
How,
had a good game. So
how big was
O'Shawn,
how big was his tip ball?
huge. As they said on commentary, football is a game of inches, and in this case, a game of centimeters. Because that thing might have barely tipped just the glove. It may not have even been his finger still in the glove. And just that little scrape that you
The
saw.
ball went to going this way, which negated the pass interference call. So that
Yep.
was huge. That was huge.
That might have been the biggest thing I've seen go our
Might
way
have
in a while.
might have saved the game too.
I think it really did save the game, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Mm-hmm. Like I
Defense
said,
is,
he's disruptive. B. I say it every week.
I know.
Might not get all the sacks he got TC, but he's disruptive.
Doesn't matter if you get the stats. It matters if you do your job. That makes you
Mm-hmm.
disruptive. That allows other guys to do their job and
Do their
make
jobs.
plays.
Yes.
He's not a selfish player. We know this.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Can't believe
Not at all.
TCU. I can't believe TCU let this guy get away. I just I don't understand it. I mean, granted, yeah, they're 5-0 right now, but their defense ain't that damn good. I'll tell you that. So yeah, defense. I mean, second half, it was lights out. They still gave up a couple big plays here and there, but when they needed to clamp down, boy, did they clamp
They
down.
stopped him. Yeah,
Pressure,
absolutely stopped him.
pressure, getting tackles for loss, getting sacks, getting turnovers, 3 interceptions. When's the last time we had 3 interceptions in a single game?
Who knows?
I probably could have looked it up, but I didn't feel like it.
I'm just saying, but who knows? But you see, what have I been saying last year? What did I say before we started this year's podcast? The first podcast. Defensive pressure makes a huge difference. Having a presence in the backfield, rattling the quarterback to make them uncomfortable, plays a huge role in what other things your defense can do, as far as coverages, blitzes, hidden blitzes, stunts up front, how the quarterbacks processing their reads. Are they reading it faster than they should be? Are they rushing to get the ball out of their hands because they've been rattled? So I think this is the most pressure I've seen in the backfield all year.
Yeah,
Made a difference.
it shortened that quarterback's clock a lot.
Yeah, rattled all the quarterbacks who played.
made some very error throws, wasn't accurate. I mean, there were times where he was, but you could tell once that pressure was getting to him, starting to get some happy feet, starting to
Mm-hmm.
be a little bit off. He was throwing
Right.
high, he threw outside. Not to mention the interception. It was supposed to be a back shoulder outside throw, and he threw it inside,
Inside.
basically
Yep.
right to where our guy could make a play on it.
Yep.
So unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't be more happy and proud of that defense right now. And thank God they decided to come alive now because the offense decided to take the night off for
Like they
about,
switch roles, huh?
yeah, they took 3 quarters off and said, hey, we're going to show up for a total of a quarter. We're not going to say it's a full quarter here, but it could be a little here, little here, little here. But we need you guys to do your job tonight because we kind of want to take it easy.
And can it be that we're making good adjustments at halftime as well as a staff?
I'm so glad you brought that up because
We're
that
looking at
has to.
other things, and yeah, because I think now we're kind of, as fans and podcasters and people watching the game, we're saying, okay, they're going to go in the halftime and make a couple adjustments, see where they need to improve and make those adjustments to
Yeah, we're
kind of
not
get
saying
the
it
game and turn
feeling
the
like
table.
it's an empty saying anymore. Now,
Right,
when we say it, we're actually confident that these coaches, Mickey himself and Bill Bush, just those two alone, they're going to make the adjustments that we need. And as far as Bill Bush goes, yeah, he's made every adjustment and he's got that defense playing right.
right, yeah.
Unreal. This is what I love, man. I'm telling you. Look, I know there's a clip from the movie Major League, and
Oh
it's
gosh,
it's
classic.
it's a classic. I mean, the coach says something like,
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. And if we win one today, that's 2 in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak. It has happened before.
"That's going through my head now." One
Scary
more.
to scary to think we can have one, right?
Considering we started out 1-3, yeah, who would
We
have
have one
thought?
now. 2 games, baby. How about that?
I believe somebody even tweeted out that we never won 2 games in a row under Scott Frost.
Wow,
Never won 2 games in a row.
that's crazy.
That is nuts to think about happening for 4 seasons.
Yeah, that's it's pretty interesting.
It really makes me start to realize the kind of blinders I had on for the last 4+ years.
Yeah, tunnel vision.
Dude, I had to have. I mean, the writing was on the wall. I don't think I wanted to believe it.
You know, I always tell you, B, I'm a realist.
I
So
know.
I just look and see. Show me. That's why when people see me, they're like, oh, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to see your hype videos. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that. I want to see it get done. Point blank, period. I don't want to. No, don't show me that. I want to see the action. So, oh, did my screen turn around?
Oh, whoa. Dude, you were you got skinny, you were
Sideways,
upside down. Good
leaning
Lord.
sideways,
I love it.
like I was in the car. But no,
Uh,
man. I mean, I want to see it. Show me, wait and see. So, like you said, with the blinders, I just wanted to see it, and I think um, a lot of people. Well, we all want to see it do well. I mean, let's just be real
yeah.
with it. I think a lot of people took it as when people would say, "Oh, that's not a good movie," it's that you were a hater. Um, and like I've said before, one of my other rants, people hear me say, I've said this before a lot of times or sometimes on the show. No former player is a hater.
No.
We can't be.
But
We
you're
want to
realists.
see we want to see the best for our school and our program. Sometimes us being real, people can't take it. And a lot of us can't take the woo he yeah he. Nah, that gets under our skin. It really does. It buys the optimism every time. Yeah, we're all optimistic, but we sit back with a degree of skepticism, like,
Man, I must look like a damn clown on Twitter then. Jeez,
Nah,
I
we
try to
love it.
stay positive.
No, you always want to stay positive. Like I said, a lot of us don't say what we want to say when we not playing well. We just like, oh my God.
Oh, you keep that locker room talk, dude. That's
Yeah,
what,
so
yeah. You guys
you
played the
know,
game. You guys have the right to have an opinion like that.
so and we look at some of our brothers that was on the field with us with the happy, joy attitudes, and we're like, yeah, stop all that, stop all that pandering, homeboy. We see what you're doing. Stop all that pandering and all that. Keep it real. Because if I get you alone, we have a conversation, it's gonna be a 360-degree turn from what you post and how you talk on your shows and out in the public and all this stuff. So, nah, I can't be fake, man. That's just what it is, you know.
Yeah, there's one former player. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but man, Josh Mitchell, when he's on Twitter, man, that guy don't hold a damn thing back.
That is pretty funny.
Whew, when we lost to Georgia Southern, go back and read those tweets. Oh man. You may not have been sure that this guy was one of our former players. You may have thought he was like a former Colorado player or something, the way he was talking. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
But it was
remember it
rightfully
was
so. Rightfully so. It was all deserving. If not a damn thing he said wasn't true.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
But hey, that's all behind us, Kenny.
Yeah, man. Happy times. Yeah.
Hey, like you said, happy, happy, joy, joy, man. I feel
Yeah.
like Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Oh,
W.
that clip,
W's, baby.
yeah, Ren and Stimpy clips going in there, I'm sure. Matter of fact, it's probably already been in there now that I've
Boom.
said it. So, all right, good. All right, Kenny. Yeah, once again, man, here it is. It's harder to get through a half hour talking about a win than it is a loss, but at least it's so much better.
Yeah.
We're not bitching all that much.
Not as many migraine pills, and we don't have that big bang going through the middle of our forehead
Uh,
from the anger.
I know it's been so. I almost last night when they intercepted that to seal it, I just sat up and started laughing.
What did you say
And
that normally happens to us?
yes, I'm just like, finally, we found a way to win a one-score game.
It's
Oh
amazing,
my,
huh?
I almost felt like crying. And this is against Rutgers. What is wrong with me? Jeez.
Against
Uh,
Rutgers, bro. You almost cried.
God, what is wrong with me? Oh, is this the
Uh,
state we've really been in for this long?
yeah,
God, again, the blinders, man. I did not see it being that
yeah.
bad.
Unfortunately, this is a state we're in. This is a state that a lot of people, how can I say it? I wouldn't say subconsciously wanted us to be in because of their hatred or whatever things they had against Coach Solich. We know what Callahan did not. I hate to keep it around, but I love his players and love the dudes that play. They're my brothers. I love the Pelini's players. Love all the players that come through there. But you didn't like Pelini's attitude.
Who knows? Maybe
Regardless,
Pelini would have had a title by now, too.
regardless of, yeah, he had bad losses. The counter to make them feel good for what they say about whenever they try to trash the Pelini tenure or why he was fired is, but he had some bad losses and he had some bad attitude toward fans and the media and its antics. Well, here's a news flash. How's that been treating you since then?
Well, we're hoping
You
Wisconsin goes through it now, too.
Yeah, it's to the point since then that we're hoping for 4 and 5 wins, hoping to get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
So your feelings toward the man and his behavior and how he ranted and raved and how he would get upset and calling for his head because of that, because he wasn't TO. Oh, you got
Nobody
that guy.
is.
Yeah, you got that guy and that nice guy after that. But how have we been since then? We're sitting up here happy as hell. We have 3 wins.
Yeah, and a 1-point
Come-
victory over Rutgers.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're ecstatic about that.
unbelievable. And trust me, I'm happy about it.
Oh my.
Should I be happy about 3 wins?
So no, but we are.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
All right, Kenny. Well, let's shut her down, man. Where we got the time. Where can everybody find you, my friend?
Add Husker Nupe, HUSKERNUPE 1911 at Twitter. Same thing on Instagram, but Twitter is where I'm normally at, doing what I do. Talking crazy, interacting, just having fun, man.
You do. You have a blast on Twitter,
Yeah,
man. I love watching your stuff.
Just keeping it real.
Dude, it's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to read. Because you don't tweet all that much, man, but when you do, it's straight to the damn point.
Yeah. Look
Worth
at
the
that.
read.
Well, interception. Well, we took that L. Oh, I mean, I'm not a man of a lot of words, man. Some people write articles. Too many words. Too many words.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and tell you what to do at this point. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Husker Army Pod. And of course, YouTube, Husker Army Podcast. Find us anywhere. You find all your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout. There's more. I can't even remember them all. So at this point, we're looking at 3-3. Purdue next, going for number 4. We're gonna get it. Let's get it done. All right.
We'll be 4-3. We coming, baby.
That's right. Kenny is calling it as well, and that does not happen often.
I think we're gonna pull it out. Close game.
All right. You heard it, Husker Army. So now what you get to do is at ease, and you are all dismissed.